and welcome to Brynn and Bryan's Movie Reviews. I'm Brynn Finnegan.
And I'm Brian Reynolds.
And welcome to our first review on home entertainment. We're here in the lovely Studio C. We want to thank them for allowing us to do our reviews here. And also thank them for helping us out with making this show possible. First on my list, and you know I love this, I'm a huge Trekkie, Star Trek Into Darkness. What were your thoughts?
As someone who's not a hardcore Trekkie, I really enjoyed it. I think that they did a wonderful job bringing something that has been so hard to get into and made it broad that like anyone can really enjoy it now. I have talked to some hardcore Trekkies who think that it takes away from it to being too much of an action film, but I think that that's a good way to bring it to a wider audience, and it was more enjoyable. You
know what, honestly, in the original Star Trek, I've watched all those episodes, and honestly, it's not like that amount of action, but every single episode they're, you know, either trapped and trying to save someone or saving themselves, or, you know, I mean, there's still action, it's just not to that caliber. But, yeah, I think it opened it up to a whole new generation too, because it's the same characters that, you know, our parents and we've grown up like loving, but it's in an alternate universe. So it's basically starting the story over again, but having old Spock, Leonard Nimoy there, which is awesome.
It opens the storylines up. They can almost do anything they want,
right?
Without having to being afraid that they're destroying anything from the old series at all.
Right, exactly. Because once you've changed one thing, everything else.
And I hope they keep making several of these. I already heard that they are planning on another third one, because they're all very well done. J.J. Abrams has been a fantastic director of all these. I
just hope it doesn't take another 3 years to do one. I mean, I understand because those effects, they were pretty darn awesome. So I kind of understand. And actually, I was watching a documentary where it was just talking about, it was behind the scenes of the last Star Trek movie. And it showed, so here's the camera, and it showed J.J. Abrams by it with a flashlight going like that, making the lens flares. It was so funny because that's something, J.J. Abrams is known for that, especially, I mean, Star Trek movies and some other of his films and stuff. And I'm not so much bothered by them, but there is like a group of people that hate them and don't like the movies and him because of that.
I thought they were a little bit excessive in the first
one.
I think that once he got the feedback about it, the second one wasn't as bad. But I also understand it's kind of his visual style. He's always done a little bit of that in his movies, and I accept it as part of the universe kind of now. Yeah,
so it got an 87% tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes. I saw it 3 or 4 times in theaters and will own the DVD and love it. So I give it a 5. What do you give it? 5 stars?
I give it a 4, solid 4.
4 stars? Okay, so definitely a movie you want to check out. So we also saw World War Z. It got a 67% tomato meter rating, has Brad Pitt, Muriel Enos from The Killing on AMC, and Gangster Squad. And basically, I mean, it's how it sounds. It's based on the book by Max Brooks by the same title, and it's basically a zombie apocalypse movie.
Right.
But it was a little different. What do you think about it?
I think that it was a hugely different take on the zombie film, because normally in most zombie apocalypse situations, you're following an everyman character. Someone who's they're like a group of people that have to survive and everything. And they still have a little bit of that in this, but it's also from the perspective of government agencies and how they're actually helping to save the world. And we see he hops from country to country, and you see different countries and how they're responding to the...
But it's not necessarily like, I can't remember if it's 28 days or 28 weeks later, but you see a little aspect of the military trying to intervene and failing. And this is more of like, the government's pulling together and, you know, kind of getting themselves apart and assessing the situation and being like, okay, how do we fix this?
Right. It's not just about surviving like usually.
Or zombies eating people.
Yeah. It's about finding the cure and saving the world.
Well, the thing about this too is the zombies don't eat them; they just spread the virus. Once you're bitten, once the zombie bites you, it moves on. Right. So it's not like it's eating you, you know. So I liked it. I've heard that they're going to make it a trilogy.
Yeah, they did shoot a lot of stuff, and because the book itself is very extensive, and they wanted to get as much as they could into it, and it's very difficult. They shot enough stuff to make like a 6-hour movie, so they had to cut a lot of it out. And so I hope to be able to see some of that, and maybe in more movies, or maybe in a long director's cut.
I did hear that, and we talked about this, that they redid the ending. They had an ending, I believe I heard, that had something to do with a big like fight in Russia or something, with the zombies and Brad Pitt being all, oh, you know, I'm gonna kill it, yeah, whatever. And, yeah, that's my take. And they went back and did something completely different. And I really liked his character. His character's name is Jerry Lane, which is such an anti-hero character name. He was really like just a guy trying to do his job, trying to do this, not for necessarily the world. Yes, that's a good, you know, but for his family.
Yeah, I think Brad Pitt did a wonderful job acting, and he really, it made me really care for him as a character, and that he torn between his loyalty to his family and loyalty to these other agencies that need him, and in the end, it's all about saving his family.